Oh, yeah. Oh, my. Quite heavy. It's very heavy. Eee. Okay, we won't do that. Thanks for coming. Nice to see you guys on this Wednesday night. Hump day. It was good seeing you guys at Robert Wallace's. Hanging with Wally. Wally. I think he wants us all to start calling him Wally. I can't confirm that, but I like calling him Wallace. I don't know how you guys feel. Thank you, KK. KK says that. Thank you. All right. So, we've got a couple things I want to cover tonight. I won't go into them quite yet. I'm going to surf around here a minute, take a quick peek at maybe Twitter, maybe check the Q drops. Here's one by Julian's Rum. I don't know if you follow Julian's Rum on Twitter, but pretty good information. Summary, he says. The plane crash that killed 63 Canadians was really undercover clowns getting the F out of Dodge after Trump threatened their black ops sites. Canada was the middleman in the Uranium One deal. The uranium didn't stay in Russia. It went to Iran. Brackets WW3. Trudeau equals screwed. So I haven't really checked on this, but that was Julian Drum commenting on an earlier Julian Drum from earlier today on Twitter, which he posted a question and said, why did Soros' son have several meetings with Canadian Prime Minister, and how is that related to Clinton's? Well, the Canadian Prime Minister is, of course, Mr. Blackface, Justin Trudeau, right? So he's asking the question, why did Soros' son, George Soros' son, have several meetings with him, and how is that related to the Clintons? Then he points out and says, U1 funnel. Uranium One funneled to Canada, and then from Canada went to, it says X, but X could be, I think, assumed as probably Iran. And quite possibly at that point in time, it could have also been funneled to North Korea. Yeah. So why is this relevant today, Anons? You're about to find out. And there's a long post. I guess I'll read it. Okay. I do have something I want to get into, but let me read this because it's kind of intriguing. It says, follow the money. It's the key. Follow the money. What is Pelosi's net worth, by way of one example? Why, coincidentally, is her memory apparently going? Cover for possible future indictments to plead what? Well, I think that it would be to plead that she's getting Alzheimer's or something. What if John M. never had surgery? That's no name, John McCain. No name, never had surgery, and that was a cover for a future out, if needed, against prosecution. Very plausible. Why did Soros transfer his bulk public funds to a NP, a nonprofit? Question mark. Note, this does not include massive slush funds that are pulled by several high-ups. So in addition to all of the ridiculous money that someone like a George Soros has, who apparently donated it all to a nonprofit, probably so that it couldn't get attached with some of the executive orders that Trump put out, attaching child trafficking to a freeze in the funds and a freeze of assets. I'm guessing that's why. Anyway, moving on. So in addition to that, it doesn't include the massive slush funds that are pulled by several high-ups. Why did Soros' son have several meetings with Canadian Prime Minister? And how is that related to the Clintons? I don't know. It's just a question, right? Can you rely on being able to board a plane and fly away? Why is MS-13 a priority? Nobody got this. Could people pay such gangs to kill opponents, and why? how to insulate against exposure. The truth is mind-blowing and cannot fully be exposed. Also, many are thinking from one point of view, US only. This evil is embedded globally. So some people are thinking that this is only confined to the United States. It's not. And I think most of you have known this for quite some time. As this eloquently points out, is that most people's points of view are US only, but this evil is embedded globally. The US is the first domino. Have faith. Indeed, have faith. Now we have a Q drop. These aren't tonight, by the way. These are Q drops that are being pulled from the past, but future proves past. So we constantly have these very intelligent anons who are streaming and conducting these broad searches to pull information all together to show how, with different markers that are lining up with future events, different markers are pulling in these truths. And there's no denying it. So this one is Q drop 2217, and the title is Justin Trudeau, Sherman deaths, comma, Five Eyes spying. We know what that is. Clinton safe house, uranium one. All right. So I think maybe in this particular heading, what's supposed to be looked at is uranium one, because what we're really dealing with is Iran and in the past North Korea, but figuring out how they would have the ability to actually create a nuclear bomb. Well, first of all, they could claim that they would just want to have nuclear power, which Trump's willing to give them. But next, if they brought in scientists from the deep state to come into North Korea, to come into Iran and show these scientists how to enrich uranium, how to take that uranium and enrich it. Iran wasn't far, I believe, from getting the bomb. I don't think North Korea was that far away from getting the bomb. You remember the mountain that got hit by an earthquake in North Korea? Basically, they're saying that that's probably where the nuclear installation was, and that they collapsed it. Well, coincidentally, 2 earthquakes hit in the last 10 days in Iran. Iran, very close to the nuclear installation. So keep your eye open for what's coming in the future on that. Anyway, back to this uranium one. Somebody said, Trudeau, anything? Q replied, billionaires, 187. Well, the 187 is it's a hit, but not sure what that means. But then it says 5i safety house build. So these people maybe have safe houses. Uranium one goes to Canada, which goes to XQ. That's from September 19th of 2018, telling us back then how the money flowed. How did the uranium one flow from the United States into the hands of Iran and North Korea? It went through Canada. And Justin Trudeau is very aware of this. There's no mistake. All right, I'll read this final one, which is a summary, I guess, sort of the first two. It's not a summary, but it specifically brings this up. What is Q clearance? What is Q clearance? What hint does that explicitly refer to? DOE? Question mark? Who would have the goods on uranium one? Does stating Q refer that a person works in the DOE? I don't know what that is. Department of what? Energy? Probably Department of Energy. Does stating Q refer that person works in the DOE? Q answers his own question and says no. Does it refer that someone dropping such information has the highest level of security with all departments? I would say it's left out there as a no. Why is this relevant? Is the follow-up question from Q. Well, I don't know. I guess somebody that had a higher up clearance could turn the other way when things were being set to move. So May 2010, Barack Obama, Russia should be viewed as a friendly partner under Section 123, the Atomic Energy Act of 1954. Obama said that in 2010. After agreeing to a new nuclear weapons reduction deal and helping the U.S. with Iran. So that's when he said that. So let me restate. May of 2010, Barack Obama said Russia should be viewed as a friendly partner under Section 123, the Atomic Energy Act of 1954. And after agreeing to a new nuclear weapons reduction deal and helping with the U.S. and with Iran. So I'm reading that incorrectly. But what it's telling me is that somehow Obama was opening the information gates so that the uranium one could find its way to where it had to go. Otherwise, there would be no reason for him to say that about Russia. And even going back to some of the footage that you see from Chuck Schumer when he met with Putin, and he was actually like bowing to him and shit. I don't know if you've seen it. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So what's being continually stated by who's the enemy? What's continually being stated by all Democrats? They're saying that that time Russia was the enemy. Russia is what? The enemy. What did the Russia reset really provide? The Russia reset, I'm assuming with, well, I don't know, to be honest. Somebody help me. Clearance, a pathway to complete. Oh, okay. So the Russian reset, as put out by Obama, created a clearance or a pathway to complete the Uranium One deal. Why is the Canadian Prime Minister so important? Because he allowed it to funnel through Canada, right? That's what this drop was telling us back then. And then Q summarizes it and says they never thought they were going to lose. The calm before the storm. So that's something that is so true. And we have been reminded so many times. I mean, the amount of information that all of you have rattling up in your head of things that are probably of like national security and all of that is crazy. How much you actually probably know. And I don't say that to put anybody on a pedestal. I'm just saying that they weren't joking around. The Q drops were legit intel. That's why we are where we are. That's why we've been told that we were watching a movie. Okay, I repeated that a million times. I understand. The Q drops are what we thought they were, and they are. And in this great awakening, in this plan that we are being allowed to watch, what we've learned with what went down with Iran and what we've witnessed over the last few days, 4 or 5 days, is that Iran has flipped. John Kerry had been making numerous trips over to Iran, trying to assure them that, don't worry, we're going to get Trump out of office. We're either going to impeach him or we're going to get him out before the next election. Don't you worry, the Iranian deal is still solid. It wasn't. But they believed Kerry because they're not part of the plan. The CIA was deeply embedded within Iran, just like it was within North Korea before that got settled. Hey, Linda. So they were embedded deep within Iran, and maybe still are, but that tide has turned. The tide turned when Soleimani was taken out. And the proof is in the retaliation strike, which I spoke about last night. The retaliation strike was to save face. It was to have a reaction. And now I believe that the negotiations are open. Actually, it wouldn't surprise me if they already had this deal negotiated, to be honest. It wouldn't surprise me one bit to know that the same formula that worked in North Korea actually worked in Iran. And all of this, the plan is brilliant, but all of this is really an effort to slowly let this information get digested and come out to awaken the people. I mean, I don't know. At this point, anything's possible, but it's all going in the right direction. Um, Nobody wants war. That's good. It sounds like we've maybe secured the black sites that were in Iran. That's good. 2 earthquakes in Iran. Could have caved in 2 nuclear reaction sites where they were doing the work to make the nuclear bomb, which they wanted. Believe me, if they would have made it, they would have launched it right on Israel. They don't even make bones about it. They're not like, give us this much money and we won't bomb Israel. They're like, we want to bomb Israel off the face of the map. America is the great Satan. Well, what do you know? Turns out we're not. Fake news. Let's take a peek at President Trump's tweets and see if he's tweeted anything. I don't suspect he has, but let me just check. And I'm only doing a short stream tonight, guys, so I'll probably do this and then wrap up. So I appreciate you so much for coming. I think that you know this. There we go. Ah, what the F? All right, let's get it. Donald J. Trump, 45th President of the United States. Let's see. Did you guys see him address the nation tonight or earlier today? That was kind of cool. I loved how he hasn't tweeted anything since that, which is probably a good move. But he, pretty special. Pretty special what we're witnessing. Yeah, KK, things are about to get interesting and have been interesting. And Democrats do want war, Linda. Yes. Yes, they do. It's for a number of reasons. The first and foremost reason would be to hide them from what's about to be exposed. And they can't for the life of them get a war to kick off. Well, boo-hoo. That's okay. We don't want it. And they are realizing in real time that they are no longer in control of anything at all. They have completely lost control of everything except the mainstream media, and that's dwindling fast. It's going away. The credibility is washing away by the day. It goes more and more and more. I know that you've known it for a long time. I've known it for a long time. We have seen them outright lie to us to build a narrative against the president. Okay? That's been our journey. Other people are now waking up to it. They're getting their journey. They need good little red pill soldiers out there that don't push their opinion on them, but have the information when they're ready for it. And I think we all know that that's handwriting is on the wall with this one. That time's coming. It just simply is. That's where the calendar is. That's where this plan is. I think we're right where we're supposed to be, if not even a little ahead of schedule. But I even think if they thought they were ahead of schedule, they would slow it down because they know how everything interacts with each other with different days and times and this, yet still remaining fluid, if that makes any sense at all. Yet still remaining fluid under what they're doing. I don't think they want to rush it. I don't think they want to slow walk it. I think they want to do it just right. Just like the Three Bears. That one's too hard. That one's too soft. This one's just right. That porridge is too damn hot. That porridge is ice cold. And this porridge is just right. Damn, that chair is too hard. That chair is too soft. This chair is just right. I think we're doing this just right. Just how the Three Bears would want us to do it. It's just an opinion piece. I could be wrong. Okay, I did my list. I went on up for a whole whopping 21 minutes. You guys having fun? You having a good night? I loved his speech too. I thought it was great. I loved how his, you know, all the president's men were up there and looking very stoic and very much on point with, they didn't look disheveled, they didn't look scared, they didn't look anything. They looked stoic, and those two doors opened with the backdrop of the sunshine coming through that Oval Office window, just illuminating him as he walked in, and the doors closed. It was brilliant, honestly. It was just brilliant how he entered into the Oval Office to give that speech. It was great. Oh, food stamp. Food stamp. Hilarious. I know it is cold, KK. It's freaking freezing. It's so cold. This is bullshit. So, anyway, I kind of spewed off last night. I hadn't gone for like 5-6 days before that. So, I think I got most of it out of my system last night. I just wanted to come on and put a little couple wrap up thoughts on maybe what it all meant with the president's speech, and maybe where it's going. I think it's going very well. I don't think I want to read that out loud, KK. My gosh. Are you in Ohio, food stamp? Has it been warm down there? It's not been brutal cold, but it's pretty cold tonight up here. Oh shit. Okay. Well, yeah, it's nice there all the time. That's beautiful. A guy from Oklahoma once told me that a woman that he looked at was uglier than a bucket of buttholes, and I'd never heard that in my life until I met this guy from Oklahoma. So I kind of, in a very crude way, kind of get your humor a little bit, food stamp. Because when he said it, I roared. I mean, he caught me so off guard. I thought it was the funniest damn thing I heard at the time. Might have been you. Were you ever in the Marine Corps? Hey, what's up, Shakalaka? Shack in the hoose? Haven't seen you in a while, friend. Nice to see you. You guys must be up late surfing YouTube. Like, there's nothing on. There's nothing. Oh, Bill's on. Okay. All right, let's go listen to him talk about how the world is about to end. It's funny. There's times I get on YouTube to go search for things to watch, and I am like, there's nothing to watch. I have to just shut this off. I'm going to go to Twitter for a while. Yeah, that wind chill. No good, KK. That wind chill gets you to the bone. Cold. We get that a lot off the lakeshore. Not fun. 48. That's a picnic. Woo! It's nice. Oh, thank you, Shaq. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's really actually very. Thank you. It is craziness. That's well put. Food stamps a dick. You're probably right, though. Oh, guys, crack me up. All right, let me take a jump onto Donald J. Trump's Twitter account and see what's. There's probably nothing new. I'll just go to Twitter in general and see what's happening. Let's check it out. You guys follow Cat Turd on Twitter? He's pretty funny. Pretty funny guy. All right, so not a lot going on there. I checked the queue drops. I'm going to refresh one more time. I doubt we'll have a queue drop. It's okay. How I feel about that. Not worried. Yeah, I was on Tony Patriot's stream earlier. Tony the Patriot. I enjoyed that. I just listened and I comment a little bit, but he's got a pretty good show. Tell you the truth, I rather enjoyed it. And every time I thought, well, I'm going to bounce out, and I just kind of hung around and just listened a little longer. And by the time I was done, I was there for like an hour and 20 minutes just listening. It was good. Tornadoes. That's not good. Yeah, tornadoes, no bueno. 34 in Atlanta. That's kind of cold for Atlanta, though, isn't it? Maybe not in the overnight. It's not. Maybe it's perfectly reasonable. And tomorrow you'll hit like 55, which would be great. It's beautiful weather. Yeah. Mel, did you write tomatoes? I think you did. With a D. I love it. And I'm just playing, but I think you did. Stupid chat. That's not good. Oh, you're hitting your norms. Okay. Yeah, Nizal, I feel awfully bad for you and your gloomy weather. It'll be 80 with a high surf in 2 days. It's like, well, hopefully the tub is in a small bathroom. And then you can close the bathroom door and get in the tub. No, that's not good. Man, look at you guys. Eee. Everybody's got problems right now. Potential problems. No problems. We have no problems. Everything is good. Everything is great. Oh, you're driving, Mel? Did you pull over to tell me that you're sorry that you were driving? I hope you did, because that would only be the safe thing to do and the right thing to do. Setting a good example. Jeez, oh Pete. You have no basement. Do you have a crawl space, KK? Or are you on a cement slab? Hmm. Hmm. Okay. KK, I got a bathtub. Yeah, I mean, we do, Nozawa. But like maybe 1 or 2 warning sirens go off a summer. And occasionally when that happens, we'll have one hit. But it's never any of this like EF4, EF5 shit that you see rolling out of Kansas and just, I mean, we've had them in the past, but they're very rare. I think the lakeshore helps, to be honest. But still, we do get the warnings. We do get that kind of stuff. We had a couple last summer where apparently there was a touchdown like 10 miles north of town from where we're at, but as it blew through, but it hasn't been since like the 70s that we had one really rip like a 30-mile stretch area. Seriously. It was like from the lake shore almost all the way to Grand Rapids. This tornado in the 70s, it killed like 36 people or something like that. But we really don't get them a lot. And yeah, water spouts do also come off of Lake Michigan, Robert Nozawa, which is what? Tornado on water. So yeah, my parents have both seen water spouts off Lake Michigan. And they're cool. As soon as they hit land, they just die. But they're big. It's like, holy shit, that's a tornado out there. But I've never seen one, and I have no desire to ever see one. Ever. I keep thinking about the movie Twister. Anytime I think of like I'd be that poor son of a bitch that was like the dad of the main Helen Hunt character. I'd be like, everything's gonna be okay, and I'd be blowing away, holding the fucking door, Ma, and boom, there I go, and that'd be me, surfing on a tornado with my cellar storm door in my hand. I want to know why I didn't suck everybody else out of there, by the way. I'm being critical of the movie. Like, oh, dad gets to go. And then you guys just get to sit there with all the canned yams and goods. Watching me get sucked out like he's in a vacuum cleaner. I suppose that stuff happens, but that'd be me. I'd be the guy holding onto that door. Sailing around in this tornado. Going, I should have did a live stream. Yeah, it's a good movie. It is, KK. Shack's in the great state of Georgia. Are you over by Savannah, where you have to speak like you got molasses in your mouth? That was from that dude from The Office. I don't know why that stuck with me. Always did. Oh, D is my black friend from Louisiana. "20 years ago." Oh my Lord. Oh. And then there's Ralph Deem coming in right at the wire. It's coming in at the end of the stream. I appreciate you coming though, Ralph. I do. How are those fires? They're bad, man, right? It's bad. I kind of didn't put that together when you were in the stream the other night, and I apologize, but no, I am hoping for really good things. And they arrested a whole bunch of people, right? Isn't that how they talk, Shaq? With molasses in the mouth. See, Shaq, you love my Savannah talk. Ralph thinks I am horrible at Australian, and it turns out he's right. He is right. It's okay, Ralph. One day you and I are going to have a cocktail on a beach somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know when. So saith the shepherd. So saith the flock. I get that from a movie too. Sorry. My life is movie quotes, I guess. Good Lord. Yeah, I'm terrible at Australian, to be honest with you, Shaq. Really bad. I kind of sound like a retarded Englishman. when I try speaking in Australian. It's really bad. And you would think that it'd be a very, very simple one to kind of learn, but not for me. No. I'm always like starting it off like, well, governor. And he's like, no, no, that's not. Well, top of the morning to you, governor. It's like, that ain't Australian, dude. That is not Australian. It's just simply not. What do you mean you miss Roscoe? What's that mean? Oh. I got you. You miss Roscoe. Where's Roscoe? Did I miss it? Did I miss something? I'm sorry. Did he run off, KK? If he did, he will be back. It's cold out. It'll be like, I gotta get my ass home. Did you really, D? did they laugh at you? Oh, he's at the vet, so you know where he is. Okay, that's good. Problem solved. You just have anxiety. You need a glass of wine or a wine. D, that's hilarious. She must have looked at you like you had 3 eyeballs on your head. And that's a good thing. And that's beautiful to hear, Ralph. I'm glad that they are exaggerating, to be honest with you. And then to hear about these little creeps that have been arrested because they're out there actually starting these fires. Man, that's like almost unforgivable. If you lose a family member because of some stuff like that, that is unforgivable. It's like, and why are there so many out there starting these fires? Why are there so many? Not one or two dumbasses that go out and just say, hey, I want to start a fire too. It's like, what? They've arrested like 180 some odd people in connection with starting these fires. And the mainstream television does what? They stick it up there in front of you and say, this is from global warming. Russell Crowe, for God's sakes, made an announcement at the Golden Globes from Australia because he didn't want to leave because of the fires. So he said, is that he continues to support the march for global war against global warming, and that's what's going on with the Australian fire. Excuse me, they arrested over 180 some odd people in connection with starting fires in Australia, which is everything that's going on right now. How is that even possible? That nobody questions it. Nothing. Nobody stops. Nobody questions nothing. Nobody looks back and goes, oh, they arrested 180 some odd people for having connection to the wildfires that started. Oh, no, it's global warming. You can bet your bottom dollar it's global warming. Stupid Trump. Well, those and you know what, Robert Nizawa, I see why your mom is really worried about the people down there with the fires. Everything's dry. Look at how they raged through California again under highly suspicious activity. Let me just leave it at that. But anybody that's got a functioning brain cell left in their head would know that was highly unusual, the way things raged and burned through California and how they got started. And the same could be said about Australia. So is the deep state dead? No, they're not. They're getting smaller and smaller in their pockets, and they are reaching out, and they are trying to wreak havoc wherever they can. They are doing that. And this is you are witnessing the destruction of the old guard. Nobody said that they was going to go through and not be them pulling every punch that they have. They are. This is what desperation looks like. Utter, complete desperation looks like what you're witnessing now. And I got news for you. It's only going to get worse. The good news is that their strength that they had is waning by the day. They're losing their power. They know it. They've known this for quite some time. They are trying to put themselves in a position to have a smooth landing, but they're not going to they're going to continue to create complete bedlam everywhere they can, where they reach. And eventually they think they probably can make a deal, which we already know there are no deals. Their time is done. We've known this for a while. They are learning this painstakingly as the days go by. Seriously, you guys listen. You guys have followed. You're part of the Great Awakening. You've listened to Q. You've listened to channels that help put all this information together. You have got a good scope on it. If you're in the deep state, you never paid attention 2.5 years ago when Q was dropping. You never paid attention to any of this. It didn't touch your world. You were above everything that the Q movement has exposed. People can sit here now and go, how can they not understand that? Because they didn't care, because they were obnoxious. They were snotty. They never thought she was going to lose. They never bothered to cover any of their tracks. And the sooner that everybody wakes up to that, the better off the world will be. But whether they wake up or not, it doesn't matter. It's all being exposed. This is just a Band-Aid being ripped off of the lies that have just been rammed down the throats of everybody in the world. I think it's amazing. I think it's great. Keep your eyes open. Who knows how this all ends? I mean, I think we know. I'd like to think we have a good idea, but really, we don't. Why? Less than 10 know how it truly ends. Listen, I think back to that. I told you this not long ago. I think back to that Q drop. It was like in March of 2018. It was only like 4 or 5 months after Q started dropping. And it spoke about President Trump is isolated and safely above flying around in Air Force One. There will be uprisings. Don't worry. Stay inside. These things will be taken care of quickly. These are things that, if prior Q posts are any inclination of what the future holds, there was a reason that was put out there. And I can see that, especially if there are pockets, which we spoke about, within the United States, sleeper cells. If there's that, there might come a time where Trump has to get airborne and be airborne for a while. And I could see that. There's a number of ways that this will play out when it's done. The good news, I think, is that the Patriots are in control of virtually all of them. No matter how it plays out, I think they've covered every base. Until they prove to me otherwise, I leave no room in my head for doubt. No, I would say that they have totally passed the bar when it comes to witnessing what we think we're witnessing. I think they've passed that bar. And quite honestly, that makes me feel really wonderful as I go through life. It gives me hope. It gives me renewed hope. I always had hope. It gives me a renewed hope, a renewed joy. I won't completely feel either of those until whatever next phase it has to go to where the heads start rolling. That's when I'm going to really start feeling great about where this plan is and how it's going. I don't like all this stuff going on within the House and Pelosi holding up the impeachment articles. And I just, further proof, by the way, that the rats are jumping ship. She doesn't want to hand them over because the minute she does, it's the end of their plan. I mean, Josh Hawley, the Missouri senator, filed a motion within the Senate to give a 25-day allowance from the date that the impeachment articles are filed until they get turned over to the Senate. 25 days was my understanding, and I'm off on this. I know I am, but she's only got like a few days left. She's only got a few days left. And if she doesn't turn them over, then they'll just acquit him. Even the House, the judicial minority leader, Dianne Feinstein of California, said, if you have them and you have something, turn it over. And if you don't have something, then don't. But basically, she said to her, shit or get off the pot. And that was the Democrat House minority judicial leader, Dianne Feinstein. Told Pelosi, shit or get off the pot. Mitch McConnell isn't bending at all. God bless him. He's not. The longer this goes along and I listen to McConnell, the more I kind of like him. Smart guy. Let me tell you what, if you can take it, if you can sit long enough to listen to him as he talks, because he draws it out like a blade. He draws it out. But the words that come out of his mouth are actually pretty illuminating, for lack of a better word. He's a smart guy. And he seems to be on the right side of history. So. Yeah, KK, I'm tired too. I think that's well put, sweetie. I appreciate you all. Happy birthday, James Rohrbach. I don't know if you're here, but happy birthday. Great informer. Nice to see you. I'm sorry I didn't see you earlier. And Ralph Deem, it's always great to see you. And Dee and Joe and Wallace and everybody, thank you so much. It's so great seeing you guys. Shaq, thank you for showing up. I appreciate that. And Nazawa and Mel and Food Stamp, if you're still here. I'm just going through, picking out the names as I see them. Linda, thank you for coming. And Johnny O, I don't know if you're still here, but I see that you were in earlier too. Thank you so much for coming to the show. And you guys have a splendid evening. And I will see you soon, okay? You guys be cool, skip school. All right, don't do that. Be cool and be a productive, functioning member of society and be the best you can be, okay? That's put better, but it doesn't rhyme. Okay, love you, bye.